In the center of Berlin, children play innocently over what was once Adolf Hitler's death tomb. It was here, in his bunker, on the 30th of April 1945, that Hitler prepared himself for suicide. Outside, in a devastating final assault on the heart of the Third Reich, the Russian army closed in on the Führer.
I stood next to the machinery room when I heard a shot. Then everything happened very quickly. I ran away out of fear, but I immediately came back down from the upper bunker. Just then, they were wrapping Hitler in blankets.
Hitler's death brought to an end his dream of a 1,000-year Reich. It lasted only 12 years, but changed the world. The Führer was defeated by the Allies, including a man once his partner, then his nemesis, a man who shared many of the same characteristics, Joseph Stalin. Stalin was to continue his rule for 8 more years until March the 5th, 1953, when he died of a brain hemorrhage. Different endings to lives that were remarkably similar. Deprived childhoods, violent fathers, adoring mothers, problems with women, and paranoia. They were both mass murderers. Hitler was responsible for millions of deaths in the Holocaust, 6 million Jews, and hundreds of thousands of gypsies and homosexuals.
Hitler was very compulsive, phobic, and paranoid, both in considering himself to be the object of persecution and attempts to kill him, and in the positive sense of believing that he had a sacred mission to save Germany and save the world.
Stalin murdered more than 20 million of his own people, political opponents and innocent victims whom he considered a threat.
In an ordinary context, I think he would be judged mentally ill. I think he would be judged paranoid, although I don't think he suffered from a full-blown paranoid schizophrenia.
How do you measure and explain such monstrous evil? One approach is a controversial new field of research, psychohistory.
I used all fields of social science that I could pull something from. Psychoanalysis, behaviorism, experimental psychology in general, social psychology, anthropology, sociology.
Hitler is often described as an enigma, and he is an enigma in many ways. There's a school of thought that argues Hitler was so evil we can never really understand him. But that's not the psychohistorian's point of view. We think that by the use of scientific psychology, we can plumb the depths and grasp his deeper meanings, his significance.
By examining their lives, as far back as childhood, startling similarities become clear. Born in the Georgian village of Gori on December the 21st, 1879, Stalin was christened Joseph Djugashvili. 3 siblings had died before his birth. His deeply religious mother nicknamed him Sozo and promised to dedicate his life to God. Joseph's father was an abusive alcoholic who savagely beat his son, one time so severely that the boy had blood in his urine.
His father was a drunken shoemaker who beat his mother, and Stalin got beaten up as a little child by trying to defend his mother. This had a lasting impression on him.
Ever since childhood, he felt unworthy. As a result of these early childhood experiences, he had a low self-esteem, what's typically called inferiority complex.
Joseph's physical characteristics didn't help. He never grew taller than 5 feet 4 inches, and his face was scarred from smallpox. His body was slightly deformed, the left arm shorter than the right and rigid from a childhood accident.